Now that we have read the book and we have an idea of what it is about, we are going to use Microsoft Word to create a poster to share the book with other people around school so that maybe they decide to check it out at the library and read it as well. In using Microsoft Word, we still have our goal, which is the student will be able to utilize desktop publishing software to create documents. To be a 3, which is our goal, you will demonstrate understanding of the learning goal, and you will be able to create a simple document using Microsoft Word, utilizing the tools taught. Okay? To be a 4, you will be able to extend your learning goal content and complete complex tasks, such as using tools beyond what was taught, or to model and assist your peers or your classmates with the technology. When you get your computers back, we are going to start by clicking on the Microsoft Word icon on your desktop, and it's going to open. You're going to choose a blank document, and we're going to start here. At the very top is your ribbon, and depending on which tab you're on, the ribbon changes and offers different tools. We're going to spend most of our time in the Home ribbon and the Insert ribbon. But let's start off by giving this a title, because one of the first things that we do in projects is put our name on it and give it a title. So let's start with a title. I'm going to go to Insert tab, which is the third over. 1, 2, 3, Insert. And if I come down here, Word Art. In my ribbon, I look for the Crazy A Word Art. I can choose any of these that I want, and it's highlighted gray. What I need to do to start typing here is I'm going to press the blue backspace button on my keyboard, and I'm going to create a title. Maybe I want to just have it be Nerdy Bird Tweets. Maybe I want it to say why you should read Nerdy Bird Tweets. Or maybe I leave the title of the book out of it and I say Best Florida Sunshine Book. So think of your title. You put a space after each word, so 1 space. And since it's a title, each word needs to be a capital at the beginning of it. Space. I'm going to put exclamation points. Okay, I'm done with my title. So I can move this to make it in the center if I'd like. Perfect. And those lines let you know where you're at. So that green line down the center lets me know that I've centered it. Okay, so I have used Word Art. I have my title. Okay, so I put in my title. Let's do my name. Something to think about is wherever your cursor is blinking, see that blinking line? That's where you're going to type. That's where your picture is going to pop in. That's where things are going to happen, where your cursor is. Therefore, if I want my name at the bottom of the page, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to press the Enter button until I go all the way down to the bottom, of the page. Okay, so I hit my Enter button until I go all the way to the bottom. And right now, my cursor is blinking on the left hand of the page, but I would also like my name to be centered with the title. So if I go up here in my ribbon and I'm still on my home, I see these lines in the paragraph section. This is going to align my text. So right now, see everything in this is aligned to the left of the page. If If I want it in the center, I click this and see how my cursor moved to the center of the page. So whatever I type there will be centered. And since it's where I want it to be, I'm going to type my name. Okay, so I have my title and I have my name. Two most important things. I can also change my font here. I can do this now, or I could have done it before I started typing. And also in my Home tab, I have the fonts right here, and I can pick a font that I really like. Maybe I want it to look like I wrote it. I can also make it bigger by choosing one of these, choosing a larger font size, and I click on this little caret, and I can make it bigger. Now I'm on the second page though, so I need to come back up here and press the backspace so it's all on one page. If at any time you make a mistake and you don't like, let's say we change the color of our font. This A with the red underline helps us change the color. Say I make it blue and I decide I don't like that. I can't see it as well. I can come up here and press the undo button and it takes it back to black. Well, if once I take it back to black, I decided I really did like the blue, I can click on the redo button and it'll take it back to what it was originally before I started messing with it. But again, you can change the color up here of your font. So we have our title, we have our name. Let's insert a picture, an online picture. Again, where my cursor is where my picture is going to pop up. I'm going to go down a little bit and I'm going to center it. And now I'm going to go back to the Insert tab. Insert tab, and I see online pictures, and this icon has a picture with a little globe on it. So I know I'm going to the World Wide Web to search for these photos. I click on it. I want you to type in something that reminds you of the story or your favorite part of the story, or maybe you even type nerdy bird tweets. Sometimes that does come up. So you could use this as your online picture. You could search tweets. Okay, you can choose a picture that you think will get people interested in reading the book, because that's what you want. I'm going to choose this one. So I click on it, there's a check mark in the box, I press insert. I have my picture. Perfect! This is what I want. I did forget to mention, when you've inserted your photo, if it's too big or too small, you can resize it by taking your mouse and hovering over one of these corner dots. You want to use the corners because it keeps the picture in its original shape and doesn't distort it. But if I was to go like this, it gets a little squishy. Perfect reason to use the undo button. So I'm going to undo my resizing and use the corners. Okay? Awesome. Again, I got to look for my cursor, and it's right here after my picture. So I'm going to press the enter button to go down. And now I'm going to type up a little something, a summary for what the book was about. what was this book about? Again, you can come up here and change your font. You can change the look of it. You can change the font size, make it a little bit bigger so it's easier to read since it's a poster. Maybe you want the colors to match your online illustration. And we are going to begin typing. I have a little bit of a summary going on here, and I want you to use some of our text tools to point out to the reader what are the important parts about this book. So, Nerdy Bird loves video games. I'm going to use my mouse to select those words, and I am going to come up here to the font section of my ribbon, and I'm going to press on the B to make those words bold, because I feel as if that's an important part, and maybe kids would want to read this book because it talks about video games a little. And it's also Vulture finds them boring. So I'm going to select that text with my mouse. I click and I drag it while I'm holding my mouse down. And then this time I'm going to use the underline to underline that part because it's important. The main idea of this book is about two friends that have differences and how they're going to work past them. You can use your text features in any way, but you need to bold something that you think is important, and you need to underline something that you think is important. Last thing for today's lesson is spell check. I cannot spell all the words for you, so you need to try your best when you're writing your sentences. And you're going to find these red underlines. That means that they are not spelled correctly. I'm going to show you two ways to do this. You can take your mouse and put it over the red underlined word and right click, and it will show you right here the suggested word for that, friends. Or you can come up to your tabs and go to the review tab and choose the ABC check mark. That's your spell check. And it automatically goes from word to word, and you'll see it gives you the word that it thinks you're trying to spell. All you have to do is press the change button and it fixes it. When all of your words are spelled correctly, it tells you okay. And that is your spell check. We're done with this today, so we're going to go to File, Save As, make sure, press Browse, make sure we're in our H drive, and we're going to save it as Nerdy Bird Tweets, Nerdy Bird Book Review. Give it a title. Type your title here and press Save.